Whatever the apparent motivation, this is not protest, it is pure violence, and we will not tolerate attacks on mosques or our Muslim communities.
We're all in it together. The people who hurt your family finances swanning around in the House of Lords after giving tax cuts to the richest 1% that crashed our economy. Don't forget any of it.
In financial year 2026, it requires saving $4 billion per day, every day, from now through the end of September. But we can do it, and we will do it.
We have to step up. We can't be cowed, said Keir Starmer about Trump's tariffs, right before Elon Musk publicly ridiculed his response as inadequate. Musk's criticism comes at a critical moment when the UK faces 10% tariffs on vital exports. While the government frantically prepares a 417-page list of potential retaliatory tariffs, Musk's influence is growing. With his $100 million potential donation to Reform UK hanging in the balance, could this tech billionaire's scathing remarks actually change the outcome of Britain's economic crisis? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favour. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. The economic repercussions of Trump's tariffs are sending shockwaves through the UK economy, with the automotive sector bearing the brunt of this transatlantic tension.
Of specialist officers, public duty officers, so that we'll have enough officers to deal with this where we need them.
In financial year 2026, it requires saving $4 billion per day, every day, from now through the end of September. But we can do it, and we will do it.
These aren't just abstract policy decisions. They're causing real-world disruptions right now. This immediate reaction from one of Britain's flagship manufacturers highlights the severity of the situation that Starmer's government now faces. Behind closed doors at Whitehall, civil servants are frantically compiling what amounts to a 400-page economic counterattack, a comprehensive catalogue of over 8,000 categories of American goods that could face retaliatory tariffs. The sheer volume of this document reveals both the complexity of modern trade relationships and the desperate scramble for leverage that's now underway. While officials compile this commercial arsenal, British businesses are left in limbo, uncertain about their American market access. For Elon Musk, this situation creates a fascinating convergence of his business interests and political commentary. As Tesla's chief executive, he has substantial skin in the automotive game, though his American manufacturing base shields him somewhat from the direct impact of these tariffs. This positioning gives his criticisms of Starmer a particularly complex dimension. Is he speaking as a concerned observer of global trade, or as a competitor who stands to gain from the struggles of British car makers? What's particularly striking about this economic standoff is Starmer's rhetorical versus practical response. The Prime Minister's declaration that we have to step up. We can't be cowed sounds forceful, but Musk and other critics have pounced on what they perceive as a fundamental disconnect between these strong words and tangible action.
It is organised, violent thuggery, and it has no place on our streets or online.
Coordinated, we went through some of the numbers. Over 400 people now have been arrested, 100 have been charged, some in relation to online activity.
Starmer's emphasis on maintaining a good relationship with the US while working to reduce barriers to trade globally strikes some as diplomatic hedging, rather than the robust defence of British economic interests that the moment demands. This perceived hesitancy has provided the perfect opening for Musk's scathing commentary. His characterisation of Britain as a tyrannical police state might seem disconnected from trade policy at first glance, but it forms part of a broader critique of what he sees as an overly cautious, bureaucratic approach to governance that stifles both economic innovation and free expression. For Musk, Starmer's measured response to the tariffs is symptomatic of a deeper problem, a government too concerned with maintaining appearances and following protocols to effectively champion its citizens' interests. The business secretary's vague promises of possible retaliatory action have done little to counter this narrative. In fact, they may have reinforced it, suggesting a government that recognises the need for a response, but remains reluctant to commit to specific countermeasures. This hesitation stands in stark contrast to the immediate and concrete nature of Trump's tariffs, which are already affecting British businesses in real time.
We're all in it together. The people who hurt your family finances swanning around in the House of Lords after giving tax cuts to the richest 1% that crashed our economy. Don't forget any of it.
Whatever the apparent motivation, this is not protest, it is pure violence, and we will not tolerate attacks on mosques or our Muslim communities.
What makes Musk's criticism particularly potent is his unparalleled platform and influence. Unlike traditional political commentators, Musk commands an audience of millions through his social media presence, and his statements carry weight not just as opinions, but as potential market movers. When he scoffs at Starmer's approach, it doesn't just damage the Prime Minister's reputation, it potentially shapes investor confidence in the UK economy at a critical moment. The timing of Musk's intervention couldn't be more problematic for the UK government, as they attempt to chart a post-Brexit economic course that balances sovereignty with international trade relationships, having one of the world's most prominent business figures publicly questioning their competence undermines their position on the global stage. The government's call for cool heads and a pragmatic approach comes across as timid when juxtaposed with Musk's bold, unfiltered critique. This clash represents more than just a disagreement over trade policy. It signals a fundamental shift in how global economic disputes play out in the digital age. Traditional diplomacy operates through careful statements and behind-the-scenes negotiations, but Musk's approach bypasses these channels entirely, bringing the debate directly to the public and framing the narrative before governments can formulate their official responses.
Building to this for 4 years. We're confident we have a plan that can move our country forward, end the cost of living crisis.
Wanton violence alongside racist rhetoric. So no, I won't shy away from calling it what it is. Far-right thuggery.
For Starmer, navigating this new reality presents an unprecedented challenge. How does a national leader respond to criticism from a figure like Musk without appearing either defensive or dismissive? The conventional political playbook offers little guidance, and each response risks further amplifying Musk's original critique. The landscape of political power is shifting before our eyes. Elon Musk's ability to publicly challenge Keir Starmer demonstrates how traditional authority figures must now contend with tech billionaires wielding tremendous influence. National leaders find themselves increasingly vulnerable.
For the UK National Crime Agency, and advanced data exploitation improvements for the NCA to boost our collaboration with European partners.
Look who we've got running the country. Free Gear Kia. Rachel from accounts. You know that one, don't you?
Forced to navigate criticism that spreads instantaneously to millions through social media. This represents more than just a temporary embarrassment for Starmer. It signals a fundamental power redistribution where individuals with massive platforms can shape public perception and potentially influence political outcomes with remarkable efficiency. The question isn't whether Musk will continue criticising world leaders, but rather how those leaders will adapt to this new reality, where economic battles and political discourse happen simultaneously on social media and in Parliament.